So Trump just announced a plan to give Americans $2,000 stimulus checks funded by tariffs. Sounds great, right? Here's the problem. Tariffs have already raised prices for the average American and definitely for the average American family by way more than $2,000, and it's just getting worse. So this isn't really a gift. It's basically giving people back a tiny piece of the money that the government already forced them to spend. And for entrepreneur expats like us, well, this is the perfect example of why people are leaving high-cost countries in the first place. Hey, I'm Justin Keltner from Entrepreneur Expat, for those of you that are new to this channel. And here we help freedom-minded entrepreneurs move abroad and build global lives without all the chaos of Western policies and their swings and Western governments and so much more that I know y'all are trying to leave. In this video, we're going to talk about why this $2,000 check is being sold as a stimulus, but when you really zoom out, it's a symptom of something much bigger. The US getting more expensive, more volatile, and more interventionist. Now, if that's the kind of content you're interested in getting more of, then definitely subscribe to this channel to make sure that you don't miss any of the content that we're putting out every single week. Hit that like button because it helps us a lot with the algorithm and reaching more entrepreneur expats and aspiring expats. And check out a bunch of the resources below the video. In fact, we've got a really cool promotion right now for Black Friday, depending on when you're watching this video, that you're definitely going to want to take advantage of. We've got all of our online courses for as much as 70% off if you buy the bundle. So if you're looking to move abroad, learn more about the details around the strategy and tactics for that, as well as how to build a location independent business, you're definitely going to want to grab that bundle because it's never going to be this cheap again. I can promise you that. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out below. Now let's cover what Trump actually announced. So here is the proposal. What his proposal was is a $2,000 tariff dividend check for American households. Now it's supposed to be funded entirely from tariff revenue, not from standard taxes. The early requirements they're talking about for eligibility are that it's for families under about $100,000 a year income. And they're talking about doing this around mid-2026, and that's if Congress approves it. Now, here's the real catch. Congress hasn't actually approved anything yet, and even Republicans are split. So the check might happen, but it's not guaranteed, and it's definitely not imminent. Now, here's the part that they don't want to tell you, or as I like to say it, the quiet part out loud. Tariffs are really just a hidden tax. That's where the real story of this is. It's not that, oh, you're going to get some, stimulus check of money that you're just sort of being gifted by this benevolent government. It's not like that at all. The tariffs actually already raised your cost of living, in fact, significantly. According to the Yale Budget Lab, the tariffs caused a 1.3% jump in prices, costing the average U.S. household around $1,600 just this year. Yale's full estimate is that tariffs may cost households up to $3,800 per year once fully passed through. The Tax Foundation reports that tariffs equal roughly a $1,200 tax per household in 2025, and the St. Louis Fed says that tariffs accounted for around 11% of U.S. inflation in 2025. So the translation of this is that they're giving you $2,000 after already costing you $1,600 to $3,800 through higher prices. It's kind of like accidentally breaking somebody's window and then handing them $10 and calling it a gift. Even if you get the check, by the way, you may still be left behind because this check, supposedly, if it even does pass, is set to come through somewhere around mid-2026, but your costs are going up right now. So that's your groceries, your construction materials, your cars, your electronics, anything with imported inputs, not just things that are fully made outside of the US. All of it is getting more expensive. And for small business owners, especially those that perhaps rely on foreign components in their supply chains, this can actually hit twice because number one, you've got a higher cost of inputs, and you've also got a lower purchasing power for your customers overall. So even if that check does arrive, the net effect for most families is actually negative. It's really not a stimulus. It's a reimbursement that doesn't actually cover the bill. And may I remind you guys, it's still not even passed yet. It's just an idea, right? Let's talk now about what this actually signals for entrepreneurs about the US. Now, here's where things kind of come into the expat angle, because when governments start micromanaging the economy with things like tariffs, rebates, artificial stimulus, it creates a lot of volatility. So businesses can't plan around wild policy swings. And then, of course, because those businesses are having to be very, let's say, adaptable, they're obviously going to have to raise their prices, and consumers end up paying more for those basic goods. And the government's pretending that this is free money is actually the biggest red flag here of all. And that's why so many entrepreneurs are diversifying abroad. So this includes Mexico, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and other places where regulations are a little lighter. Business is simpler, and you're not constantly paying for political experience. So what do you do if you run a business, or if you're thinking about leaving? Well, if you are exposed to these sorts of supply chain issues because you're relying on suppliers that are in other countries that the US is importing from, or even if you're a business that maybe you are nomadic and maybe you are running your business from somewhere else in the world, that you've got US suppliers, you should expect more volatility. And another thing that we recommend a lot of our clients that have manufacturing and other similar businesses that are affected by different types of global supply chains a lot more than others is look at shifting those supply chains towards Mexico or Latin America, because you get a nearshoring advantage there. And as an individual, I highly recommend that you stop planning around these stimulus checks. It's just a distraction. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really just a distraction. They're trying to distract you from what's going on, from certain countries in the Middle East and what they're doing, to distract you from, obviously, somewhat released but not really released. They're never really going to release files about certain people that contain some damning information. It's just a distraction. It's political theater. It's not real economic belief. So don't count on it. Don't let it distract you. Keep your eye on the prize. And if you've been thinking about moving abroad to just stabilize your life, to cut costs, and to be able to rid yourself of so much government control and scrutiny and political theater, then you may want to consider booking a consult with my team. You can go grab that at entrepreneurexpat.com/consult. We specialize in helping people with $1 million or more in net worth figure out what countries they can go to, whether it's moving just themselves or them and their family, or even their entire businesses overseas. We've got people in multiple countries all throughout the world, especially Mexico, where we're based. So we can help you solve all of your tax and budgeting and real estate needs in another country, so that you do not have to worry about what the US government is doing next. We'll help you along every step of the way. And as I mentioned, we have a lot of free resources as well, including our Moving to Mexico guide at entrepreneurexpat.com/Mexico, and our moving abroad checklist at entrepreneurexpat.com/abroad. You can also find those resources down below. And don't forget to check out our bundle that's on sale with everything you need to both relocate to another country and also start a successful location independent business abroad. Thanks so much for being the best part of this community. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot, as I mentioned, and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our upcoming content, and click the notification bell as well so that you get notified as soon as a new video comes out. You can be part of our premiere. We premiere these videos multiple times a week, and Amanda and myself are in there in the comments engaging with you all. So again, we really appreciate you being a part of this, and stay tuned for the next one very soon. Bye for now.